what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Mandatory Live. If you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media channels. We're at the Mandatory TKO. You can also see in the description, if you're on the looking at the screen on YouTube, you can see where you can follow us. You can also find it in the description below where it has all the show notes if you're listening to this on the audio side, because you can also find us on the audio side. Yes. So if you got a couple of minutes, leave a rate and review, give us a 5-star, because that's always going to help the channel grow. And Brian, we got lots to kind of get into, I would say, right? Is it, or would you say it's kind of like a slow boxing week?
Well, the week just started, and we're doing the risky thing of doing our previews on a Monday.
Yeah.
We usually don't do this, but this is how our week is. We're gonna be pretty busy all week. But I think we'll be all right. We got some fights to talk about. If there's any news that's crazy that comes up, maybe we'll see what we can do. But there is something in the news that you missed that I want to bring to your attention. Because this was not revealed until today, despite the fact that this involves somebody who competed on Saturday night. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't think you're ready for this. Okay, here we are going to share the screen. Daniel Dubois, footage of Daniel Dubois allegedly at his home in London a few hours before his undisputed heavyweight championship bout against Alexander Usyk on Saturday. This is lifted off of someone's Instagram story who was there. And you see here, this is on mute, but Daniel Dubois appears to be, just kind of feeling himself, taking photos with people. That dude, his teeth aren't great. And yeah, we have Daniel Dubois out here partying hours before his fight, against Alexander Usyk. And then this dude just like in the lot with cars or what have you. But he's enjoying himself, and he didn't later that night. Your thoughts on this are what, now that you're seeing this for the first time?
I mean, how do we know it was a party? Like, I don't see any drinks or anything. I just see like people hanging out and there's some music. I don't see like anyone holding a drink in their hand. I don't see Daniel Dubois. Look, there's a water bottle. Oh my God. Now, if this was high school, there could be vodka in there, but it's not. I don't see.
Oh, they did that. They did that up there too.
Obviously, like, yeah, obviously, yeah. You sneak it in, like, what it was, you know what I mean? That was the easiest move in high school. You just put vodka in the water bottle. Don't do that, kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
there was a dude I went to school with who was like bringing that shit in and drinking it during class. I'm like, bro, you're fucking 15. Like, what?
Oh no, we weren't doing that like during class. We just did it at like school dances and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, not like
Okay.
In class. That's
you didn't
wild,
hear me say anything then. I said
yeah,
nothing.
no, that's wild. I mean, you probably go like to class like after you burn one, you know what I mean? But like that's totally different. Like that is totally different than drinking and going to class. You know what I mean? At least you can focus a little bit more. Okay, anyways, nonetheless, we don't know if it was a party or if it was just a gathering. Like I don't know how, like, we don't know much about Daniel Dubois' family, but like it could have just been a kickback with his family and they were hella hype. And then he went to his fight. Allegedly, it was a party. So to me, it's like whatever. His family and friends could have just been hype for him. So I don't really see anything wrong with it. And he doesn't look like he's intoxicated. So I'm not gonna say anything else about it. Like, what were your thoughts about it?
I don't think he was doing something, but I personally wouldn't want to be surrounded by that many people before a big event. Like, I obviously never been in a fight of that magnitude, but like just like before even a big show, right? Like a show that's like on a platform that I'm typically not on, you know what I mean? Or like, I know this is going to be a big live, like I got to be ready. Like, I'm not trying to be surrounded by that many people, you know? So it's a little surprising. You don't see that very often. I think, do I think it affected the fight? I don't know. There's no way to know. I think Alexander Usyk would have won the fight if Daniel Dubois was in a hyperbaric chamber, like hours before the fight, like whatever. Like, I don't know if it affected anything, but it's not the best look. But I also don't I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everyone's a little bit different. He seems a little bit more like happy-go-lucky. That's how Daniel Dubois seems like. He's pretty chill. But I agree with you. Like, if I'm gonna be on national television, like, I'm not hanging out with any of my coworkers the night before. I don't go to the dinner. Like, I don't. If I'm on the road, I don't go to the dinner. Brian knows. I'm like, yeah, I didn't go out with my coworkers. I stayed
Yeah,
inside and
but
I studied.
is it to, I was gonna say, is it to focus, or is it just because like you're not a people person like that? Or both?
No, I can be pretty social, but I gotta like have the energy to do it. And I just like to prepare. I like to prepare for the show, right? Like get my
Yeah.
notes together, do like some skincare, do a mask. Like if I'm like on the road, like I'm not gonna go out for drinks the night before. I'll go out for drinks after the game because then I can relax. But before it's like I'm just doing self-care stuff. So maybe for Daniel Dubois, like I don't know, but I could see how that could be hectic. But I mean, he didn't look intoxicated or anything like that. But you're right, it is a lot of people. So who knows if that affected him during the fight? Drop your comments, let us know what you thought about it. And regardless, I think Alexander Usyk would have won, and he was both our pick for that fight. Now, Brian, talking about heavyweights, there is going to be a heavyweight fighting this weekend. Claressa Shields back in the ring. She's going to be taking on Lani Daniels, who is 11-2-2. So she does have 2 losses on her record. Lani Daniels, if you're not too familiar with her, but she's never been stopped before. She's never been knocked out before.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
gotta be honest. And look, we think Claressa Shields is all the things, as I like to say. One of the most accomplished boxers, and honestly, one of the most accomplished athletes. If we can double back to that athlete conversation that we had this weekend about like why isn't Alexander Usyk and some of the other top boxers, why aren't they talked about with Simone Biles? Why aren't they talked about with Sydney McLaughlin? You know what I mean? Like in terms of just athletes across sports and Nikola Jokic and Pat Mahomes. Why not Claressa Shields also is what I would say. Like I don't get it. But look, she has a ton of accomplishments, but I mean what people are going to hold against her is her resume as of late. And ironically, like the front part of her resume does look a lot better than the back part of it. As she's moved up in weight, it feels like there's less and less competition. That's why I hope Tan Tabal is going to be very, very good, as much as we both think. We're very high on her on this show. And I think that's a legit challenge for Claressa Shields down the line. I thought at one point that Natasha Jonas and Claressa Shields would be something that we'd see at some point, but Natasha Jonas looks like, I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to see her box again, because in her last fight, she got pretty much picked apart by Lauren Price. Lauren Price, by the way, is somebody who I'm like, could she go up and face Claressa Shields at some point? And obviously now you have Shadasia Green, who just got a big win over Savannah Marshall. That's an obvious fight you can make. And that, to me, that's the most logical Claressa Shields opponent. So it feels like there's a pathway to some more opponents now. But Lani Daniels, all due respect, I just don't know if she's going to really give Claressa Shields a ton of issues. Like if Claressa Shields feels like one of those fighters, Shakur Stevenson's like this, and to some degree, and not to some degree, to the most degree, Floyd Mayweather was like this, where it's like if somebody else beat you already, they're probably not gonna, like, they'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like there's just certain fighters like that, where it's like if Claressa Shields is gonna lose to somebody, it's gonna be an absolute stunning upset, unless it's somebody else who's undefeated. And even in that case, it probably will be stunning, because I don't know who beats Claressa Shields. Even though of all the people I just mentioned, I have no idea. Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that. And I believe Lani Daniels is like 37 years old. And she does get hit a lot. She does have some skill. She has a decent jab, but like Claressa Shields is light years ahead of her in terms of skill and also in terms of power, because like Claressa Shields has shown her power in this weight class, right? We've seen her get stoppages, knockouts, and this is the exciting part for Claressa Shields. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if she does end up fighting a Lauren Price. I also think that Claressa Shields wouldn't mind moving down. She's talked about moving down before. She's not going to move down too much. But, she might move down a little bit, and you never know. Someone like Michaela Mayer can move up.
like there could possibly be some fights that they can make. Because I know she was saying that for Amanda Serrano, she would come down to like 147 or something like that. She was saying she would do that. And, you know, obviously her and Amanda are the two GOATs of this generation. However, you know, I don't see that fight happening anytime soon. But this is interesting. Talking about fights that could possibly happen. Claressa Shields. Now, Layla Ali was on that broadcast of, you know, the all-women's card. And Layla Ali, they asked her, like, would you fight Claressa Shields? Because, like, let's remember, Layla Ali and Claressa Shields did have a relationship early on. And Layla Ali was one of her mentors. And then I don't know what happened, what went left. And they started to kind of beef a little bit in terms of, you know, greatness. Layla Ali's like 50 years old, by the way. Layla Ali said on that broadcast, you know, I'll do it for like 15, 20 mil. Like, I don't want to hear nothing unless, you know, it's like 15, 20 mil for that fight. Claressa Shields then puts out a video recently last week saying, hey, we got the 15 million, Layla Ali, come and fight me. Okay, so it's 47 years old. So my apologies, because I don't want to make Layla Ali a little bit older. But I mean, she raised the money. She got the money. They have the venue. But Layla Ali's like 47 years old, and like she's doing all this other stuff. She has a book deal. Like, you know, she's in a total different space in her life. She's had kids. So I don't see this fight even happening, but this would be a blockbuster fight, Brian. I think people would want to see this because Layla Ali, you know, one of the greatest of all time, taking on a young great, obviously, in Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields is only like 30 years old. But your thoughts on all of this?
I mean, Layla Ali hasn't boxed professionally since 2007. Like, Claressa Shields was like 12. You know, like, and I know Layla Ali was the best of her time, but like, this is kind of like, so in MMA, Ronda Rousey was seen as, and not seen as, she is revolutionary because she was the first big star for the women. You know, like a bigger star than Chris Cyborg, a bigger star than Amanda Nunes, who came later and beat her ass. But at the time when she came out, it was really just her. There were few, if any, peers. Misha Tate maybe being one of them, and then Holly Holm, who's returned to boxing, by the way, kicked her in the head, and that was pretty much it. Like, so with Ronda Rousey, like Layla Ali is kind of in a similar space where it's like you were first, but the sport has gotten a lot better since you left and was getting better on her way out the door. Longer removed too, because Ronda Rousey's peak is still within the last 10-ish years or something to that effect. With Layla Ali, I mean, 2007, we were still in the Bush administration, in the States at least. Like, this is a long ass time ago. The last time she fought, like, this was February of 2007. Chris Benoit was still alive. Like, that's a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, and
that makes you feel old, man. That's my senior year. Like, that's my senior year in high school. So I feel hella old right now. But
like,
yeah, you know, she hasn't fought for a very long time. But it still makes an interesting fight. And I want to go to this comment right here from our good friend IMPK13. Where have you been? We haven't seen you for a minute, IMPK13. The 47-year-old Layla Ali has a better chance to beat Shields than Daniels.
I mean, well,
she does.
Fair.
I don't want to disrespect
Daniels like that, but I just Claressa Shields, I'd make her a fairly significant favorite over Layla Ali if they were to fight, just because, like, again, this isn't the Manny Pacquiao situation, and even that, I mean, we talked about that extensively on Saturday. At least Pacquiao had 4 years removed and was fighting somebody like Mario Barrios, who we had said even leading up to the fight, while we thought he probably would win, we were like, it's Mario Barrios, like, I don't know, like, and we saw why we had, especially me, had that hint of skepticism, but with Layla Ali, I mean, this is a long time ago. But Layla Ali, again, in her day, she was so dominant. She was a champion. Shit, she was one of the only female fighters I could get on HBO. You know what I mean? Who could fight at Madison Square Garden. And at the time, she wasn't getting the respect she deserved, but also there wasn't that much competition for her. If she came around in this era, there'd be a lot more competition for her. Even though Claressa Shields, like, we're talking about her and the lack of competition, we also just named a bunch of matchups that she could have. And part of that is she beat some of these women already. Like she beat a Savannah Marshall already, for example. But I mean, if it to me, this is a just almost a non-story until it actually gets made. But it is more interesting than her fight coming up, admittedly, and that there's something to be said about that.
I think it's an interesting fight because it's two legends, right? Claressa Shields is already a legend in the game. And here's the thing, Layla Ali had power. Like, I know we're talking about her competition, but I hate this conversation because you can only fight who's there and in your division. Like you can't fast forward, you can't rewind, and Layla Ali was the greatest of her time. So despite the fact that I think the skill level was obviously different, women's boxing wasn't that big at the time. It's hard to compare the two, but they're still the greatest of their times. And I think this would be a fight that I would watch, Brian. But obviously, like, I haven't heard anything from Layla Ali and her team, so I don't think this fight's gonna get made. I think we're never gonna hear anything about it, but we're gonna hear Claressa talk about it probably because she will obviously say like, "Hey, I put up the money and now it's not gonna happen."
I'll read this part of the Bloody Elbows story. Bloody Elbows, outlet that mostly covers MMA but covers boxing as well. You maybe used to be owned by SB Nation. I don't think they are anymore. But Claressa Shields dubiously claims to have $15 million offer for Layla Ali. This is what you were just talking about. In a video released to TMZ, Claressa Shields claimed that record label Win Records. Record label Papoose, what are you doing, bro? We're going to put up $15 million in order to get Layla Ali out of retirement. But if you look into the video, all is not what it seems. First of all, there isn't a recognized fight promoter in the video at all, aside from Shields' manager, Mark Taffet, who seems to be the only boxing mind aside from herself. For the fighter herself, excuse me. Ruben Branson's Win Records claims to have organized the money, but their only proof of this is a novelty check from a bank that doesn't exist at an address that also doesn't exist. And that's boxing.
Yeah. Pretty much. I want to get to this comment right here. Tony Yayo says Shadasia Green is pretty much most viable for a bout. And I agree with that. I think the Shadasia Green fight is very, very interesting. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but like Brian said, that's boxing for you. So we're probably not going to hear anything else about it. But we're both thinking Claressa Shields is going to win this one against Lani Daniels and probably by stoppage or knockout. I'm thinking she should.
Tony Ayo continues with the comments. Does Turkey support women's boxing?
Nope. No. No, we can say that confidently. And he's put on one fight for women, only one, and
Sky
he can make a lot of Chapman. Yeah, and that was it. And I think he saw the fight, and he probably didn't enjoy it because he doesn't have any respect for women. Clearly, it's the truth. Why haven't we seen any women's cards? Why isn't he like promoting any women? Like, I hate to say
Claressa
it,
but tweeted at him too.
And he's still not doing anything about it. It's like, unless we see Turkey support some women, I don't think he does. Also, let's just take a look at facts. Look at where he's from and how they look at women and how they respect women. They don't. You think
the government over there, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean also like in terms of their culture.
Yeah.
Turkey's culture, right? He's very cultured. He's like holding hands with like men and stuff. Apparently that's like a sign of respect. I don't know what else he does, but he doesn't respect women. I've never even seen him with a woman, actually. Have you seen Turkey with a woman? This is questionable, Val. We need to find out. He's always with men. And maybe that's because, like, they, obviously, like, there is some cultural stuff in there as well. And I don't want to be disrespectful. However, women aren't treated very well in the area of where he's from. And it's just the truth about it. Okay, he's never put on a woman's fight. Right? I don't know what's going on there, but like I don't believe he supports women. I don't even know if he likes women. I've never seen him with a woman. I know that he brings over, some like women commentators. Like obviously he's brought over a couple of very, very good ones.
Kate Abdo, maybe?
Yeah, Kate Abdo's great. She's done. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of her. So, he's obviously been okay with having her on the broadcast. So that's cool. But other than that,
I I hadn't noticed that till today.
I've never seen him with a woman. And even when Kate was like hosting the stuff, like Kate's like so far away from him. You never even see him like walk over there and do an interview, right? But he does interviews with men.
No.
Oh my God, I've never seen Turk do an interview with a woman. I've never seen it. If you can find me a video of him.
He had to have. Kate's had to have talked to him before.
Maybe like behind the scenes. I've never seen this on camera.
Claudia Trejos? Anybody?
I've never seen it either. No, I've never. And Claudia is a G. First off, Claudia is one of my favorites in the business. I've never seen this before, so I don't know.
Kate Scott, that's right. Not Kate Abdo anymore. Kate Scott, that's right.
Okay, yes. If you listen, chat, if you can find me a video or a photo of Turk with a woman, please let me know because I've never seen it. You know, there's clearly an issue here. I don't know, but I've never seen it. So whatever he's into, that's cool. His business.
I'm stunned that you beat me to this observation. I knew we weren't going to really talk about Claressa Shields' fight like that. I knew we were going to spit.
I think this is a better breakdown. I think this is a better breakdown.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? We're here to look. We're here to be informative. We're here to have fun, though. And I was like, where is this Claressa Shields gonna fight preview gonna spin off into? And here we go. By the way, she has tweeted before in the past to Turkey, and you know, I think I don't even know if she's fiending to like fight out there. I just think she wants the money she probably feels like she deserves, and that's one of the sources to get it. But MVP has also talked about potentially working with her, and they know like Shadasia Green, Claressa Shields would be a big fight. I do think there would be some interesting negotiations in terms of how that works, because with Salida Promotions, like you can't concede Claressa Shields being the A side or anything like that. But I'm sure MVP is going to want to control a lot of how this is promoted. So hopefully they come together and make that fight. I think Claressa Shields and Shadasia Green is the fight to make. Assuming Claressa Shields gets past Lani Daniels, she's a minus 3,000 favorite, by the way. So
yeah, those are not. They would be like the craziest upset of all time.
Biggest upset of the year for sure. Yeah,
and maybe in the last decade, I feel it definitely.
I think AJ Ruiz was 42-1, but I would say this would be a bigger upset, even though technically odds wise it's not. But I do think even at the time I was like, man, Andy Ruiz might be better than Jarrell Miller.
Andy Ruiz always had speed. Yeah, Andy Ruiz
was a replacement for Jarrell Miller. So
yeah, I've always been an Andy Ruiz fan.
Yeah,
I
didn't think he would do that though, but yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, guys, drop your comments. Let us know who you think's gonna win this fight if you're even gonna bet on it. Also, let us know if you find a picture with Turk with a woman. Now, let's get to the next topic because I've never seen it, you guys. Okay, I just want to know now. Okay, anyways, we're gonna move on. So we got a pretty big fight. Brian's going to be attending this one, y'all. So hopefully, we'll get some inside scoop from Brian. But Xander Zayas,
Top Rank just emailed us. Top Rank just emailed us like, "Yo, make sure y'all like let us know you're coming because seating is tight and what have you." But I had to confirm that I'm going to be there. I'm like, yo, yeah. Like I get it though, because when you have it at the MSG Theater, there's just not a lot of room. You've heard me complain about this venue, but I'm excited to see Xander Zayas' first career title shot. See how this goes.
Yeah, and this is going to be a big fight. I think this is awesome. This is in New York, isn't it? Is it at? It's not. It's not at Madison Square Garden though. Is it at the theater at Barclays? Oh, okay. It's at the theater. It's at the theater. Yeah. Okay.
So great. MSG, but not MSG.
And I know you hate the theater, so.
I don't hate the theater, wink, but it was an awful wink by me, by the way. It's just not my favorite venue.
Do you even know how to wink? What was that? When you wink, you're not supposed to like say it.
I can't do it.
Like that's terrible.
I don't wink very often.
Are you just blinking?
No, I'm winking.
Try it again. Hold on, you guys.
No,
let's see. No. We want to see if you know how to like. This is important.
I can't wink.
Just try it.
I can't.
You did it. Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, but it's not like cool. It's not like it's not one of my moves. It's never been one of my moves. You know what I mean? That's not how I pull this off.
You don't just walk by and like wink at people. Good. Like, that's kind of creepy. You know what I mean? That's not a good move. I'll say that.
No.
We'll find out though. Well, I'm gonna find out actually if that's how this thing.
Marlon reports that doesn't exist, but he does have kids. All right, we'll leave it there.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We'll leave it
also, there. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna get in trouble and get canceled. I'm gonna get canceled or be found missing.
Said enough.
Okay, but this is the type of work that the friends of the show do. Okay, we have the smartest friends of the show. Honestly, we honestly do. We get the best comments, and this type of extra effort by Marlon 2631. This is the type of effort that I like. Thank you, Marlon. Good friend of the show.
Someone asked how old Ann Wolfe is. By the way, she's 54.
Legend. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. She's
Xander Zayas versus Jorge Garcia. Listen about this a little bit Saturday. Xander Zayas is his title shot. Like, this is it. And Charles see, when you clip this, people are going to be confused as to why this clip is starting and you're laughing, but leave it in.
Because I'm sorry.
If you didn't watch the live show, you're not going to know.
It's just funny that like now we know that he has kids, right? And I had so much to say about that, but I won't. Anyways, let's get to this. Sorry, guys. I'm what are all those ads there?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
It's just box rec. Maybe I need a better ad blocker, but whatever. Who cares? Xander Zayas, 21-0, 13 knockouts. Jorge Garcia's 4 losses. I'm going to pull up his record in a sec. But here, we haven't seen him since the Slava Spomer fight. We thought that was a good performance up here. He got the stoppage in the 9th round, won every round, basically. There was one round where he got, like, not rocked, like rocked, but, like, you know, he got hit a few times, but it was a fight that he pretty much dominated. And you'll see a lot of this, like 190. Like, he doesn't really lose rounds. People just want to see more power. People just want to see that stoppage ability that you see from other superstar Puerto Ricans. Xander Zayas is not that, at least not yet. Maybe he will be. Maybe he won't. We'll see. This is part of the test. I think that this is a chance to grab the torch, so to speak, because in terms of superstardom amongst Puerto Rican boxers, Xander Zayas, who's going to face Jorge Garcia Perez, Xander Zayas is not going to, what the hell? Is not going to become a superstar with this win, but he definitely won't become one if he loses. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he loses this fight, then that's trouble. Jorge Garcia, by the way, this is important right here. He's never been stopped in his career. So if Xander Zayas wins by decision, people are going to be like, oh, but this is a guy who's tough, who's never been stopped. He's Mexican. We know. Mexican from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is tough. He's on a big winning streak, too. It's not even just the Charles Conwell win, although that's the one that people will gravitate to. And that was a legit win. That's the best win of his career. He's got 8 straight wins. A bunch of them by knockout, all but 3. He has a few losses here. You see one to Atunde Michelle William. This was in Mexico. This was probably kind of an upset given that it was in Mexico, but undefeated no less. Carlos Ocampo, famous for getting the shit beaten out of him by Errol Spence in round 1 and then taking Sebastian Fundora to distance, to which people were like, And then Sebastian Fundora did what he did this weekend, so we'll see. And then a couple other upset losses here. So all the losses have been like, decisions. Only the Carlos Ocampo one was like not even close. Everything else was a split. So this is not going to be an easy fight, I don't think, especially coming off the Charles Conwell performance. That's where I'm at with that, Shantelle.
Yeah, so honestly, this is a really tough fight for Xander. I don't think this is a layup for him. Jorge Garcia is actually a really, really tough fighter, and he's going to come forward and he's going to throw some shots. And he does have pop on his shots. He does definitely have pop on his shots. But I think this will be a great test for Xander Zayas because it's not a huge name, but it's a very tough opponent. We have Champy saying that he's going to pick Jorge Garcia over Xander Zayas in this. Yeah, because it's not a layup for Xander, actually. And Champy also said not sold on Xander at all. Champy, let us know why. We want to hear this. Here's the thing. I think Xander has all the attributes. He has the skill. He's not like this devastating power puncher, but he's going to be able to move around the ring, land some good shots, and he has great body punches. He does great body work. Now, for a guy like Jorge Garcia, he does leave himself open at times, and he does make some mistakes defensively, but he has never been stopped before. This is going to be a very exciting fight, and I want to know how Xander is actually going to play this. Do you think he should probably want to fight from a distance, but Jorge Garcia is not going to want that. Jorge Garcia is going to be aggressive in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
So lateral movement is going to be very important for a guy like Xander in this fight, because he's going to want to get to the body. He's going to want to work the jab in this fight. Right. So this is going to be a very, very interesting fight. And I think there's going to be a lot of action in this fight, actually, Brian. There has to be.
Garcia's going to try to push him. Xander doesn't have the size advantage in this fight either.
Yeah.
Garcia's 6 feet tall. I don't remember if his reach is. I don't remember what his
Champy
reach is, rather.
says 6'4". Is it 6'4"?
There is his reach 6'4". He's listed 6 feet tall. That I know.
Okay.
I don't know if his reach is 6'4". That would be significantly longer than Xander Zayas is.
Yeah.
If that's the case. But we'll see. I mean, the way he beat Charles Conwell, and that was a split. I kind of thought they were gonna rob him low key.
Yeah, no, I thought they were, because remember the hype on Charles Conwell for a little minute?
74-inch reach. Just checked.
Probably a typo. Probably a typo from Chappie, I'm guessing.
So it's the same reach as Xander. Although Jorge is obviously I think he's gonna want to be in Xander's face a little bit more. Xander's quicker for sure, and I think to your point, he's gonna want to use his speed. He was listed 6'1" when he fought Charles Conwell. BoxRec has him at 6 feet tall, but regardless, he's tall. And in that fight early on, Charles Conwell was actually backing him up a little bit before, he settled in. But we'll see. He's going to mix up his attack. He's going to jab Xander Zayas to the body. Then he's going to go upstairs. He's got a whole bunch of different shots in his arsenal. He's going to try to be busy as the fight goes. Xander gets busy also. He's a volume puncher. Like we've said, if he stops guys, it's going to be with just a lot of punishment. It's usually not with one shot. And we'll see. He's only 22. We keep saying that about his age, but that is a factor in all of this. He's 22. He's younger than the bulk of guys that we saw this past weekend, who people are like, hey, now Sebastian Fundora is this all of a sudden. And, he's significantly older than Xander Zayas is, for example. So I think this is going to be interesting. The body punching, who's going to win that battle, the jab battle, and not just the body punching, but the power punches to the body as well. Xander Zayas obviously wants to get to his left hook to the body. Garcia will probably want to do the same, as a matter of fact. So it's a good, tough, interesting matchup. And I think stylistically, you could argue that it's a more problematic one than Charles Conwell would have been. I know people were very excited about Charles Conwell potentially beating Xander Zayas, but to be honest with you, I thought Xander Zayas, if they do fight, I still think he wins that fight. I don't want to say easily, but I think this one is a little more it's plausible that Garcia can do this. It absolutely is. And even odds-wise, he's just plus 270, which that sounds like a lot, but for boxing, it's not really that big of an underdog. It's not.
No, not at all. And I think that a lot of people might look at those odds and kind of take a guy like Jorge Garcia because, and we've talked about this before, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on a guy like Xander Zayas to be that guy. And I think eventually he will, because I think he has the skill set. I think people kind of underrate him a little bit. And if you're thinking Xander Zayas is overhyped, then you take a look at that plus 290 and you're like, that's an interesting number that you might probably want to bet on. Good value there. But here's the thing. Xander Zayas is more skilled than Jorge Garcia. He's more skilled. He also has better footwork than Jorge Garcia. Jorge Garcia can be a little bit one-dimensional at times, but he is also very crafty. So that's why I think it's going to be an interesting fight. And then there is the size difference. How will Xander Zayas kind of neutralize that as well? And I think he's going to try to fight on the outside, obviously, and stick and move, use his lateral movement, get to the body. And yeah, he's not going to probably have this like one punch that's like devastating. But what Xander Zayas actually does is he breaks you down throughout the fight. And that's why it always turns out to be a very good fight. So also keep in mind that Jorge Garcia does get touched a lot, and it's gonna come down to body punches and stuff too, right? Xander Zayas throws like a lot of combos, very good combos. And
Great
he's
point.
and so I think that a lot of people are going to go into this fight thinking Xander could possibly lose, but I think Xander Zayas is going to win this fight. But I think it could also be 116, 112, a fight like that. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe a 116, 112. I could see it being a little bit like I could see Xander also dominating in this fight, but I don't know because it's going to be tricky. And I do really like Jorge Garcia. And by the way, I think Xander Zayas would beat Charles Conwell as well. So
Yeah,
those are kind of my thoughts on the fight.
the mistake Conwell was making too was he was letting Garcia just get off first. And he would kind of stand there and try to counter, and Garcia will have thrown like 3, 4 punches. And Garcia wasn't even like, again, he's not very fast. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, like, he was kind of telegraphing some of these shots too, and Conwell was just like overly patient, waiting to counter. But Xander's got the speed advantage, and I wonder to what degree is that going to matter. I do think, like, if we look at this fight, and I think even if he wins 120 to 108 and just sweeps all 12 rounds, which I don't think that's going to be the case, but if he does do that, I think people will still be underwhelmed and be like, oh, he still has to show me something. To which I'd be like, yo, dude, like, Garcia's good. Like, he's tough. He's never been stopped. I'm not even sure if he's been dropped in his career before. But like, I think Xander wins this. You said probably 8 rounds to 4. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I could see 9-3. I could even see 7-5. Like, I could see this being a split, like one of those things. But to me, I would be surprised if Xander stopped him, admittedly. As much as I do like Xander's skill set, and as much as I think like he's all around good, like really solid. It's just the finishing ability when you get to this top level. Like, that's really what I have questions about. And can he sharpen up his defense a little bit more? I actually think his defense has progressed, but like he can still get clipped a little bit. This is going to be a fight where Garcia will be looking to clip him. He's going to eat some shots, especially those left hooks to the body, punches and bunches. And like, he's not a headhunter. He's not just a body snatcher. Like, he's going to throw variety at you. Garcia is. So is Xander. So it's like the perfect first test. Like, if you're world championship level, this is a good opponent for you, right? Garcia is tough enough, and he has to, like, I would study the Carlos Ocampo fight, you know, because he could do a lot of what Carlos Ocampo did in terms of neutralizing Garcia and being able to win that battle in that way. And Ocampo was not somebody who had like an appreciably big size advantage or anything like that going into that fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. You want to talk about a crafty performance. That was when he was on his winning streak building up to that. It was either the Errol Spence fight or the Sebastian Fundora fight. But Carlos Ocampo basically has the same dimensions as Xander Zayas, where he's 5'10". His reach is about 74 inches. So he needs to study that fight. I'm sure he has. And he does his homework. Like, he is somebody who I've seen get incrementally better. And this is what I was saying when he was getting compared to Edgar Berlanga. And I was like, no. Xander's the better one of the two, like, by far, because he actually like works and gets better. And I think he will put in the work, and we'll ultimately see how good that's going to be. But Edgar has been one-dimensional since he was an amateur. Like, he just was. Xander's not one-dimensional. He just needs finishing ability at the world-class level, and he'll get a chance to prove it. Again, he's 20. He's not going to be 23 till September. You know what I mean? So there's a chance he wins a world title before his 23rd birthday. Not many dudes could do that. So we'll see. It's a great. I think it's a great fight. The card is good too, by the way.
Yeah, and here's the thing about the power, because we had our good friend Steven say that Zayas needs power. And I'll say this, like, he's only 23 years old. I don't even think he's grown into his power. Like, he's still like growing into like his full body. Like, you know what I mean? He's still very young. And so I don't even think we've seen his power yet. And it might be a thing like Bud Crawford, as he moved up in weight, his power got more significant. So it could also be that. But he's only 23 years old. So he's very, very young. So I don't even mind at the fact that right now people are saying he doesn't have power, because he can stop you in other ways, because he's good at everything, right? He has the skill set. So that's kind of where I stand on that. I'm going to take Xander Zayas by decision, and I think he's going to win like 8 rounds to 4, something along those lines. I wouldn't be surprised if it was now 9 rounds to 3. And then I also would not be surprised if it's like a very, very close fight, like 115, 113.
Yeah.
There could be a judge that has it like 115, 113. Like, so I'm like, yo, like, it could be like a majority decision or something like that. But it's very interesting. This is going to be a good fight, you guys.
Yeah. And I think Garcia, like, You know, he's the B side and he knows it. So if he wins 9 rounds to 3, he may get a draw. So he's gonna have to really bring it in order to get a decision, I think. So we'll see. I'm leading in your direction too. I would think Xander gets this by decision. That was minus 145. I try to look for a better number, see if I can get something better than minus 145, but that's where I ultimately see this going. I'd be surprised if he got the stoppage, though I think he's obviously capable of being the first guy to stop Garcia. I think Garcia is
Yeah.
capable of potentially stopping him or potentially winning. Like there's a wide range of outcomes here. This is not it's not like the Claressa Shields fight where I'm like, I think I know how this is gonna go. And it's Claressa Shields by however she wants. This isn't one of those fights. This is a legit fight. And we'll see what happens moving forward. But I think this is a great spot for both guys. Xander Zayas, now he gets to prove it at the world championship level. And Jorge Garcia gets this big opportunity that could be a huge, tremendous breakthrough for him. It's the last, and we're going to talk more about this probably next week. This is the last scheduled ESPN Top Rank card. So we'll see what happens as far as where Top Rank goes from here. That's worth mentioning. So Xander's in that big spot too. Like this is going to be the last fight that we see in the Top Rank ESPN era, unless they come to an 11th hour sort of extension. But we'll see.
Yeah, let's kind of go through the card before we get out of here because there's some interesting names. A classic Top Rank card where you're seeing a lot of the young guys, and Rohan Polanco is on this card.
Yes.
I mean, he's one of my favorite fighters right now. Emiliano Vargas is on this card, y'all. And so he's one of my favorite fighters as well right now, up and coming. You're going to see a lot of good young fighters on this card, and Top Rank's always good at that. So I wish it was a Friday card. I'm always big on those like Friday night Top Rank cards, but it's not this time. But whatever. Brian, let's quickly go through this. Also, Shushu's fighting in this fight.
He's minus 8,000.
Yeah.
I do like the matchups here for the most part, but they just went and found an undefeated dude. This is an interim championship opportunity. Bruce Carrington's first. It's an interim title for the WBC interim title, which is interesting because they had Ray Vargas, who was a champion in recess, excuse me, and the champion is obviously Stephen Fulton for the featherweight division. But I don't really know how this happens because if you look at the rankings, which is, my favorite thing to do on this show, and we actually pull up and see what bullshit boxing's up to. That's why we pull up the rankings, because to try to make sense of shit that don't make sense. Bruce Carrington, number 1. So he's getting the interim title shot. Makes sense. You're number 1 contender, WBC, featherweight championship, interim title shot. The guy he's fighting, who is, again, a massive, massive underdog, Mateus Heita, 11th.
Okay.
For an interim title, it's a little surprising. Can't even get Daniel Collins, but whatever. I think Bruce Carrington should win this one. Obviously, this is definitely among other things, a showcase fight. Like, get your interim title and try to force somebody's hand. It means we may get Bruce Carrington and Stephen Fulton at some point. I think that's an excellent fight, but Bruce Carrington has to make sure he handles business here. So
yeah, Tony Yayo says, "Who's Emiliano fighting?" He's fighting Alexander Espinoza, and I believe Alexander Espinoza is 20, has 3 losses and a draw. Okay, yeah. He should win this fight.
He fought. Damn, where did I see him before? That must have been in Australia, Brisbane. Yeah. Okay. He lost his fight against Jalen Tate. Yeah, I mean, it's a fight Emiliano Vargas should win. These are all, like, again, Top Rank is great at just, like, the matchmaking in terms of, like, these are guys you should beat. But, like,
And growing the guys and building the fighter, they're very good at that. Yeah. So, yeah, there's going to be some good names on this card. We're not doing a post-fight show, obviously, because, oh my God, you've been talking about this guy for a minute.
Yeah, he needs to fucking do something. Like, don't, like, part of me thinks he's going to try to win another gold medal in the next Olympics. And it's like, bro, come on. Bakhtir Jalalov didn't look that impressive in his last fight. he's one that we expect a lot out of in the heavyweight division. He's also already 31 years old. So it's like, this is let's go time for you, you know? Gianmarco Cardillo is who he's fighting. And this is another showcase fight for him. We mentioned Rohan Polanco. He's fighting Quentin Randall, who's actually somebody that I think people might have heard about. He's a vet. This is a showcase fight. Pretty much all of these are showcase fights. He beat Janelson Figueroa in his last fight, although Janelson Figueroa, not the same as when he was a rising prospect, but that's still a pretty good win. Was in the ring with Brian Norman Jr. 2 years ago, lost to him. So there's like a lot of interesting fights in this card. And two guys that I think are worth like really briefly touching on before we get out of here. Juan Manuel Lopez's son, is going to fight in his third fight. He's going to fight in his third pro fight.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. So this is exciting. Yeah.
He's 19
19.
Years old. Yeah.
Wow.
19
okay,
years
so
old.
I haven't seen him fight yet. Have you seen any of his tape?
Yeah. I was at the first fight of his career. I was at that because that was when Keyshawn beat God damn it. Baranchik?
Yo, Steven, this is a funny comment right here. Steven says, "Will Top Rank go to Tubi?"
Well, there was rumors about Warner, maybe Turner. Like I don't know.
I kind of wish they just went to Netflix.
But Top Rank on TNT sounds cool.
I love that. Like, Top Rank on TNT would be dope.
Top Rank on TBS. They don't have the NBA anymore.
Yeah, so I would love it. I would eat it up. I swear, I would love it.
Steven, Tubi has a bunch of HBO boxing for real?
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to go check it out, and it's free.
Boxing's gonna be dog shit in August. I might have to go back and watch some of this. Is Tubi really 480p?
Nah, come on, Tony. I don't think it is. It's just kind of they have terrible stuff on there, like just terrible stuff on there. Any final thoughts, Brian, before we get up and out of here?
Yeah, Julius Ballo is also making his debut. He has a lot of hype. He got injured before what was supposed to be his debut earlier this year. So he's a widely, like, very accomplished amateur, super popular. His debut has been one of the most hyped, I think, in recent months, maybe even years. We'll see what he has at the pro level. He's 5'5". He's a featherweight. He's fast as shit. Don't know how hard he hits. We'll see. He's going to make his debut against Brandon Ayala, who's 2-0. So I think that's going to be exciting for a lot of people. He's from San Diego, also West Coast kid. Again, great amateur. He fought Jamal Harvey, who I talked about, was in Team USA in the Olympics. That was a competitive fight. It kind of looked like a fencing battle. Somebody joked that I saw, because that's kind of what amateur boxing is, where, you're just kind of playing taps. But like, it is what it is. But an interesting card, more interesting than the Claressa Shields card. Though we will be watching.
I can't wait.
This is
what I'm going to be watching.
One more note
on Saturday.
One more note about the Claressa Shields card. Tony Harrison is returning. In case people didn't know that, Tony Harrison is going to return and fight on the Claressa Shields undercard. So this is the first time we're going to see him since he lost to Tim Tszyu some years ago. So don't know to what extent he's going to be trying to come back. I liked Tony Harrison very much when he was coming up. He was one of the last dudes that was fighting on Friday Night Fights before Friday Night Fights ceased to become a thing. And then he, obviously got to a championship level, and he proved to be more chinny than I thought he was going to be. And that's ultimately what held him back. But I think Tony Harrison's really, really good. So we'll see what he has left.
And guys, remember, that was kind of the rise of Tim Tszyu when he beat Tony Harrison. That's when Tim Tszyu ended up getting a lot of hype. But that's it for the mandatory. You guys, if you're watching this later, make sure to drop some comments. Thank you so much. Make sure to also hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like the content. No post-fight show this weekend, but we'll be back the following weekend with some more content, obviously. And remember, if you're watching this after, drop your comments, because we love hearing from you, and we'll be reading them, obviously. Even if we don't get back to you, we always see your comments, and we do appreciate them. Brian, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Salute to Josh Taylor, who retired today. Undisputed champion, hell of a career. And good luck to him on his future endeavors.